If you'll send that to me. You sent it, yeah?
Not just yet. You mean you want the actual link for the
Yeah, yeah,
part?
yeah. For this class.
Oh, can't. I'll do that now.
Yeah, the actual link for this class. So I think the room ID and the passcode, some people can't just use that. It's up to you guys. You should have if you want. Yeah, should have. Yeah, should have. Should have. Yeah. One of these days, think about inviting them in. Yeah. One of these days. She went, remember the woman says she wants to sit in one. Yeah, so this. No, I need the actual link. So you see this thing here. I
Okay.
would have to come onto your show. Look, see this one here. I'll paste it. So yeah. Link here. See that? Let's put it in here. Because I'm not on my phone, I'm on my laptop, so I can't.
Okay.
I need that. Please. Bubble show.
It's in the parties. It's in the chat group now.
Can you send it to my WhatsApp? Is there any way you can get to my WhatsApp?
I try. If I
Wait, let me try to. Select everybody. Apologies.
Sorry.
See if I can.
Elder, if you copy it and then go to share and then go to Elder Peter on WhatsApp and then paste it there.
All right, so when he sends that, well, all right, I think I might be able to do it. Give me a second. I think I might be able to do it. All right, I think I've done. Um, um, one second, Android. Copy link. I think I've done it. I think I've done it. This will be it, yeah. Yeah. That's it there. Boom. Like, yeah, I kicked myself out. All right, and yeah, I've done that now. So do order for that. All right. Yeah,
God,
yeah. So like you for that. I've done it now. Praise to the Most High.
God.
Um, all right, and so yeah, so today's class I'm being overwhelmed. These things can happen to people. All right. So how do we deal with that? Well, let's go into it a little bit. All right, let's get Deuteronomy 28 and 65. Yeah, who we got? Who's reading today? You got
first.
All
right. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 65.
That's it.
And among these nations shall thou find no ease.
So amongst the nations that were around, we're going to find no ease. Right? Go on.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
See that there? You're not going to have no rest.
But the Lord shall give thee a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind.
And sorrow of mind. Okay? We'll give thee sorrow of mind. All right? Now let's go to the 28th verse, the same chapter. So he's going to give you a sorrow of mind and a trembling heart. Okay? You can read that, please. Number
28,
28, 28 and 28, yeah?
God, the Lord shall smite thee with madness.
So you're going to go, this play is going to drive you mad, right? That's what it says. Pressure maketh a wise man mad, right?
Yeah.
Calm. You got that?
Ecclesiastes, sorry.
Ecclesiastes, yeah?
Ecclesiastes 7:7.
Ecclesiastes 7:7 says, oppression maketh a wise man mad. So you could be as wise as you want, but oppression can turn you mad, and these things can overwhelm you. All right, now let's read verse 28 again.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
Yep, so astonishment of heart, go on.
And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in the darkness.
Yeah, you're not going to know where to go, how to get out of it. The things are going to be getting on top of you. Yeah, go on.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy way.
So you're not going to see no progress. You're going to be going through things. And you're not going to see no progress. Progress will happen, but you're not going to see it, all right? At first. Keep going.
And thou shalt be not only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee.
So we know, right, that as we keep these laws, the curses are breaking off us slowly. You can see it's breaking slowly because we're now a little bit more aware. We're now a little bit this, a little bit that. But you still have to go over some of these oppressions, but it's a process. Okay, not everything happened overnight. It was a process. Even us going into slavery was a process. Us coming out of slavery was a process. Us coming out of a slave mind is a process. Everything was happening slowly. So we're still going to go through these issues now where, for example, us getting oppressed in different areas, okay? And this then causes us to be overwhelmed, or situations not going right and things that you want to be working on. You're thinking, well, I'm not seeing no progression, but you got to keep going. That's the main point. Let's get 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. I think I pulled out this scripture about 4 times in the last 2 days. This one here. So I'm gonna pull this scripture at least another time today, at least one more. Yeah, one more time. So 1 Corinthians 10 and 13.
13.
God. Okay, well. Because at the end of the day, remember the things that we read just a minute ago, they're actually curses that are over us for not keeping the laws. Okay, so we kind of come out of these things, but we'll take a bit of time. But go on.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. They have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
So what it's saying there is that you're not going through something that someone else hasn't gone through. Somebody else is going through what you're going through, no matter what it is, okay? All right? Well, there's on the platform, I don't know. Yeah, keep going over there.
But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above ye that are able.
So what we was not going to tempt you above your ability. So what you're going through, when you do feel overwhelmed, the Most High has not tempted you above what you're able to bear or you're able to overcome. Right, keep going.
but will, with temptation,
So with this temptation that you're going through, go on.
also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
So you're able to bear it. He'll make a way for you to overcome this temptation, this problem, this issue. He will make a way. You do have to, as I said yesterday, you do have to put your spiritual goggles on to be able to work out how to do it. You might need to get help to someone to look and see how it can. You know what I mean? The Most High will make a way somehow, but there is a way out. Okay, and the way out's not always destruction and blow something up and break something up, but sometimes it, well, sorry, most times it is actually a good thing for you to be a better person. Because it says um is it trials perfected patience or something? Give me James. Who's James 1 and
5. Not 1 and 5.
yeah, it's in James. Let me look at it quickly. It's in James 1 and yeah, that's the one. James 1 and 3.
1 3.
Yeah, James 1 and 3.
Shall I read all that?
You're just James 1 verse 3.
Okay. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
That's it. That the trying of your faith work of patience. So things you're going through, it's actually to improve you as a person. Okay, that's the whole point. What you're going through. All right, so let's go to Psalms 143 and verse 4. Verse 4. What did you say something about gremlins? What gremlins?
No, at the start I was showing a video, and
Oh,
it was,
video.
yeah, we had the little gremlins on the platforms, and I know in the chat some of the congregation was saying they couldn't see the video, but I will show it again. I will show it at the end so you can see it, because it was a really powerful video, you know,
Okay.
about their slavery, their other
Yeah,
nation slavery. So all
yeah.
praise to the Most.
All praise to the Most High. All right, and so yes, if we could read that, please, Baba Kusha.
This is the chapter
143.
43 in the book of Psalms, verse 4.
Oh.
Therefore, my spirit overwhelmed within me. My heart with me is desolate.
So you see, so David's going for a situation now where he's saying that his spirit is overwhelmed and his heart is desolate. His heart feels empty and he feels overwhelmed. So also, uh, uh, David went through this as well. All right, keep going.
I remember the days of old. I meditate on my works.
I meditate on all thy works. Yes, go on.
I muse on the work of thy hands.
Go on.
I stretch forth my hands unto thee. My soul thirsteth after thee, as a thirsty land, Selah.
So he's saying that his spirit is overwhelmed. What does he do? He meditates on all thy works, on the Most High's works. Okay. So when his spirit is overwhelmed, he's meditating on the Most High's works. That's what's going to get you through in life, okay? Is the Most High, meditating on his works. Okay, now let's go to Psalms 77 and 3. Because David went through this as well. He went through a period of being overwhelmed. And we can go through this as well.
This is from the book of Psalms, chapter 77, verse 3. I remember God and was troubled. I complained and my spirit was overwhelmed. Selah.
So David saying his spirit was overwhelmed. Okay, keep going. Actually, no, son. Start from verse 2.
God. In the day of my trouble, I sought the Lord.
So David, in his day of trouble, what did he do? He goes and leans on the Most High. That's what we're supposed to do. Okay, go on.
My soul reigned in the night and ceased not. My soul refused to be comforted.
So his soul struggling to be comforted. He's struggling to hold on to that. All right, keep going.
I remembered Yahweh and was troubled. I complained, and my spirit was overwhelmed. Selah.
All right, now read verse 4.
Thou holdest mine eyes, waking. Salakia. I am so troubled that I can't speak.
Soul troubled. You can't even talk. Imagine you get to that point where you're soul troubled, you can't even talk. All right, go on.
I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times.
So that's what you got to do. Sometimes you got to look in the past and consider the days of old. All right. Anyone remember the verse? Remember the days of old. I believe. Deuteronomy. Remember the days of old.
Deuteronomy 30, yeah?
Huh?
The Deuteronomy 30?
30 and what?
Deuteronomy 32 and 7. Deuteronomy 32 and 7.
Yes. The order. That's perfect. That's the one. Yeah. So we're gonna go back to that in a minute, Psalm 77, but let's read that. So he's saying that he remembers the days of old, the years of ancient times. So let's see that in the law.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will sue thy elders, and they will tell thee.
So he's saying, ask thy father, he will show thee, and thy elders, and they will tell thee. So what do? You go to your elders, you go to the Most High, and he will tell you, he will give you understanding. You're going through things, you need to get what? Is counseling and then go to people who are of experience. We've probably seen this thing 100 times before. Okay, that's what we've always got to remember the days of old. It says, consider the years of many generations. You don't be looking and thinking, oh, now they're old now, it's all new now, things have changed. Don't change. You notice it doesn't change. Okay. Nothing new. It doesn't change. Okay. As I use the example, this back in the day, used to have dissing matches, in it. Remember dissing matches, just diss each other, and I say you'd harden up and toughen up sometimes. Do you know what I mean? And then we don't have that as much anymore. You know what you got now? You got the comment board, isn't it? People now in the comments, just running people in the comments, just everyone's reading the comments now. It's not changed. It's the same thing. Oh, nah, things are different. No, it's not. Before, we could say what we wanted to your face, and we don't, nothing happens. Do you know what I mean? Just call you whatever, just get used to it, and yeah, maybe I'm a bit too tall, you know what I mean, or whatever it is. And then, or maybe I'm a bit too small, or whatever. And then, but now you got the comment board. I think it's probably worse now. To be fair, they go mad on the comment board. All right. Let's go back to Psalm 77 then.
This is the verse 2, Captain.
Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms.
Verse 5.
Verse 5. This is the book of Psalms 77, chapter 77, verse 5. I have considered the days of old, the ancient of years of ancient times.
Go on.
I recall to remembrance my song in the night. I commune with my own heart, and my spirit made diligent search.
So sometimes you're meditating in it, you're kind of going through things, you're trying to get yourself back to where you want to be. Right? Keep going.
Will the Lord cast off forever?
So when you're going through something, you think, oh, when's this going to stop? Do you understand? When's this going to end? Like, when's this situation going to end? It will actually end, you know. It's actually going to be a positive thing for you, and you're going to work it out, and something good's going to come of it, because we all have to learn how to be, right? But you're looking at it thinking, when's the Most High going to get me out of the situation? And you have to go through this, because as it says, the triangle of our soul, work of patience, right? So you have to go through things to make yourself a better person. Okay? Keep going.
Will the Lord cast off forever, and will he be favorable no more?
Okay. Will he be favorable no more? Yes, he will be favorable to you, and he will put you through what you need to go through. Okay. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 14. You're gonna go through things. Things are going to happen. Can't be in the flesh. Then we're gonna make mistakes. Yeah. Get the Apocrypha. Wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah. I'll bring that. It is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 14. For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain.
There. When you're in your flesh, when you're thinking carnally, the thoughts of mortal men are miserable. What have I got to go through this for? What was it? What's happened to me for? You're gonna be miserable. Okay. But it says there, and our devices are but uncertain. Okay. Well, obviously, we've got to lean on the Most High. We can't lean on no carnal devices. It's not going to work. No quick fix. Okay. Everything is preventative measures, not quick fixes. Doesn't happen. Sometimes you have to go through something and just add patience and forgiveness and come back again. All right. Verse 15.
Verse 15. For the corruptible body presseth down the soul, and the earthly tabernacle weigheth down the mind that museth upon many things.
Yeah, go on.
And hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon earth.
So something can look a certain way, and really it's not that. Do you know what I mean? You can be looking and thinking at something, they're oppressing me, they're doing this, they're doing that. But you might be looking at the bigger picture and thinking, maybe this is something I need to go through to get me to where it is. Because as we said before, is if you are patient, or you think you are, how are you going to know if you're patient unless your patience is tested? How are you going to know you're honest unless your honesty is tested? These things must be tested. Can't just be going around with honesty sticker on your honesty sticker and you ain't being tested. It has to be tested. Okay. Even a business or a household, the electrical items in your house are pack tested. Okay. And in a business, they're tested like, I think it's yearly. Like, yeah, it works. Yeah, well, I know it ain't going to blow up. Yeah, it's never blown up yet. They test it to make sure your toaster or whatever's not going to blow up. Okay. That's why sometimes you get that thing where your toaster shorts out the rest of the house. Gotta go in, it ain't been pack tested. All right, so things gotta be tested. All right, anything more on that? Yes,
Yeah.
keep going.
Verse 16. And hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon the earth, and with labour do we find the things that are before us. But the things that are in heaven, who hath searched out?
So there's the question mark thing. Who have searched out? Keep going.
And thy counsel, who hath not known, except thou give wisdom.
So the word except the Most High gives wisdom. Go on.
And send thy Holy Spirit.
And sends thy Holy Spirit from above. So the Most High will send His Spirit to help deal with the situation. All right, because obviously your corruptible body pressed down the soul, and the earthly tabernacle weigheth down the mind. So in your flesh, right, how it looks to you, it might look a certain way, but the Most High will send His Spirit and help cleanse the situation. Keep going.
For so the ways of them which lived on the earth were reformed, and men were taught the things that are pleasing unto thee, and were saved through wisdom.
See that there? Through wisdom. You must lean onto wisdom, not just necessarily how it looks. So when you're being overwhelmed, you must lean on wisdom. That's what you must lean on, okay? And I'm telling you this, or I struggle as well. Okay, it's easy to teach it and say, oh, here's the precepts. Yeah. When I'm in it, I'm going left and going right and all over the place. I'm not. No, not being overwhelmed. Do you know what I mean? Or something happens at work and I'm thinking, shall I punch him up? Pardon. You got please go on.
It's Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26.
Yeah.
It says, "Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon you by wrath."
You're right. Yeah. Yeah,
No, you're allowed to be angry.
Yeah.
So it says you can be angry,
Yeah.
but don't
Don't
give
sin.
every rash. Don't
Yeah,
give every
yeah,
rash,
yeah,
because you have to
yeah,
think about what you do.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So you can. And as I said, man, I'm not the best at certain things. Sometimes I can teach you this, and then you see Peter going left somewhere. And, what are you doing? You know what I mean? You taught me. You know what I mean? But yeah, you just gotta kind of remember them and just, and just stay in the spirit. But one thing I do try and do regularly is look at the overall picture of things. I think, okay, I'm going through this, but what's he trying to teach me? And then try and learn that. And then when you go for oppression, you have to thank the Most High. When you go through something, so thanks Most High.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to hear that, but it's good to know. Good to know that this and that's happening, all right? Rather you know than not know and walk into a line. Then. Give me Sirach 11 and 25. All right, Sirach 11 and 25. Yes, Sirach 11 and 25.
This is Sirach chapter 11 verse 25.
Come.
In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction.
So we tend to forget things when things are going right. And this is why I said earlier, and I think I said yesterday as well, is preventative measures. You must have preventative measures. You must be proactive, not reactive. Okay, and the reason we need to be proactive is because things are going to happen, and once they happen, it can boil over, and then you're in a mess. You're better off just doing things and putting things in place for a rainy day. Pulled out a scripture on that yesterday. I'm gonna find it. Pulled out a scripture on that where it said that you'll be in the end days. Give me a second. We pulled out a scripture on that same thing yesterday. I was thinking on the fly, so like what sometimes you have to have things like this. It has to be a little bit in the spirit. Right.
Sirach 2.
No, I'm not sure. Hold on. It's when we're doing something, and in the end, that's when we're going to be shown to be.
Well, yeah, Sirach 2 says, "Be unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at the end."
That's the one. Yeah, read that. That's the one. That's it. Go on, read that.
Sirach chapter 2, verse 3.
Go on.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
So you're putting things in place to then be able to overcome at the end. You know what I mean? You don't just think you're just patient straight away. You're putting things in place. You know what I mean? And even your relationships or in your situation at work or in your life in general, you're gonna put things in place so something don't happen in the end. You always preventative measures. You're always being proactive. So you look and thinking, okay, I want to check the roof because it might leak one day, or I'm gonna check this, could put that in place. I'm gonna put £10 a week towards that, so then when the feast day comes along, it doesn't overwhelm me. You know what I mean? You're being proactive. Otherwise, yeah, calm. Someone say something. No. All right. Otherwise, sometimes what can happen is you can leave something and think, yeah, it's all right, it's fixed, yeah, we ain't no problems, so all right. And then, boom, it boils over. It boils over because you haven't put the blocks in place, and that can happen to me at times. I can be like that. Just leave things, leave it. Ah, it's all right, leave it. Yeah, it's all right, everything's peaceful. And then boom, boils over. I mean, so you have to, even myself, have to learn to put things in place, be proactive. Any more on that?
That was
it, yeah. All right, so let's go back to Sirach 11 and 25. But yeah, that was the actual scripture I wanted. So yeah.
Sirach chapter 11, verse 25.
Hmm.
In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction.
So when things are going all right, you're like, yeah, things is all right, man. What happened? I can't remember, you know. I mean, you forget. You're supposed to remember, right? Go on.
And in the day of affliction, there is no remembrance of prosperity.
So when you're going through it, you don't remember when things were good. Okay. I have this term, I say, oh, it's swings and roundabouts. So I'm on the job, and then they get to leave at 3, and then I'm you know what I mean, working for the same company, and then I've got to leave at 5. Okay. But then they're running around like a blue ass fly, and then I am not always having to run around. So it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? My job's slightly easier, but I'm there a bit later. Their job, they're not harder, they're just running around a bit more. But they get to leave at 10 to 3. Well, I'm supposed to leave the gate at 3, but you know Esau, 10 to 3 is out of there, isn't it? He's out of there. So it's called swings and roundabouts. So you got to remember when things are good, or when you're going for a problem, and you know you're supposed to remember. You know, so it's not always like this. You know, there are times when it's good. But what happens is when you're going through it, your whole world is falling apart. All right. Keep going.
Verse 26. For it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways.
Keep going.
The affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure.
See, affliction of just 1 hour. You go through affliction for an hour and you're forgetting all the good stuff. Okay, it could be good for months, maybe years. Then you have a little problem and boom, all the good stuff's out the window. Like what good stuff? I don't remember when it was good. It's terrible. But we're not supposed to be that way, okay? Um, keep going.
And in his end, his deeds shall be discovered.
Yeah, his true intentions shall be discovered. Okay, so you don't know what someone's like when things are going well. You know what someone's like when things are going bad. That's how you learn about people is when things are going bad. Okay, so that's why we have to kind of do better. All right, do better. I believe I want yeah, 11 and 14 of the same chapter.
Sirach chapter 11, verse 14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord.
See, all that comes from the Lord, prospering in things and adversity. What you're going through, the most has seen it fit to go through that. What does he want you to learn from that? And then same vice versa, prosperity. When you're prospering, things are going well, you're saying praise the Most High. When things are going wrong, do you say praise the Most High? You know what I'm saying? And when things are going wrong, you are supposed to say praise the Most High. You understand? And I did actually do that. When I found out these Edomites were snitching on me at work, and I was going through it, I said praise the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to praise Him in the good and the bad, all right? And then it said there as well, life and death, poverty and riches come from everything comes from the Most High. He's in charge of everything. Okay. Satan is on the books. He's an employee. He's not self-employed. He doesn't go around finding his own work. He's an employee. Okay. All right, let's get Psalms 143 and 11. Psalms 143 and 11.
This is Psalms 143, verse 11. Quicken me, O Lord, for thy name's sake, for thy righteousness' sake, bring my soul out of trouble.
All right, so what it says there, when it says quicken me, it means change. Okay. So when it says quicken me, it means change me. So read that again.
Quicken me, O Lord, for thy name's sake, for thy righteousness' sake, bring my soul out of trouble.
So David's asking the Most High to bring his soul out of trouble. So when you're being overwhelmed You lean on the Most High, you pray to Him and ask Him to bring you out of trouble, and you'll come out. If something's brought to you, a situation, you deal with it. Okay? Yes, you are going to feel overwhelmed, but the actions you take is you lean on the Most High, you figure out what He's trying to teach you, what the learning point from that is. Okay? Because there's something He's trying to show you. You just have to put your spiritual goggles on to figure out what He's trying to show you. You could be saying, also, I think you need to be a bit more patient. I think you need to be a bit more long suffering. Or I think you need to be a bit more appreciative. Or I think you need to start being a bit more diligent. You need to start being more diligent, start paying attention to the details. Okay? That little situation is not a little situation, it's a big scenario. Or that big scenario, it looks like a big scenario, but really, in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. You just have to lean on the Most High for that. Okay, and also if you have an issue that you keep doing the same thing over and over again, which is a problem I keep doing, is you need to ask the Most High to change you. You're stuck in your habits, just do the same thing. You got what's the word? The default setting. Yeah, you got default setting. I got a default setting. I got to change that default setting. I got to stop being defensive. Start being a bit more understanding on the bigger picture. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But you got default setting to just you know what I mean? You got to be better at that, man. That's the thing that I struggle with. Go
on. This one's Proverbs 24, verse 10. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small.
Yeah, man. So when things are going wrong, if you faint at that point, your faith is small. Your faith is small, man. Not when things are going right, it's when things are going wrong. All right, then. So let's go Ephesians 5 and 19.
It is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 19. Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart.
So you must always reason and also use the Psalms. You must also use the Psalms and reason in the Psalms. Okay? And it says hymns, spiritual songs, singing, make a melody in your heart to the Lord. All right? Keep going.
Giving thanks always.
Just giving thanks sometimes.
Giving thanks always.
Giving thanks always. Always give thanks, you know. Even when you go through a thing, you're going for an issue, you find out something's going wrong for you. You know, praise the Most High. You get licked down with something, you're praise the Most High. You know, in all things, okay? All things. Yeah. Keep going.
Giving thanks always for all things unto Yahweh and the Father in the name of our Lord, Yahweh Mashiach.
So our mediator, that's our mediator. And we're going to give thanks through Christ to the Most High. Okay? Keep going. Keep going.
Verse 21. Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of Yahweh.
Now get me Psalms 61 and 2.
Psalms 61, verse 2.
So we reason out of the Psalms. Okay? So I think I was speaking to him and I said, I'll read some of the Psalms when you go getting impressed by at work. Read some of the Psalms. And then there's some Psalms you can read. Okay? You can reason out the Psalms. All right, so let's get that one in. Psalm 61 and 2.
Yeah. Psalm 61, verse 2. From the end of the earth will I cry unto thee when my heart is overwhelmed.
So not wrong in having a cry. Okay, ain't no wrong in bawling. All right, just not in front of your missus. I'm joking. But yeah, there's nothing wrong in crying. All right, ain't no wrong in crying. And now I'll never say that. Do you know what I mean? Stop bawling unless you're crying about something stupid. All right, go on.
When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I.
So there, lead me to the rock, to the foundation. Okay, when you're being overwhelmed, you go to your foundation, the thing that's propping you up. A rock is something that's unmovable and you can rely upon it. It's always going to be there. The rock don't move in it. You know, you go to the park, you see a big rock there, you leave it for a couple of months, come back, the rock's still there, don't move in it because you can rely on it. That's what it's talking about. In my rock, that means I can rely on you. All right, so and that rock is higher than I. That rock is Christ. Um, let's get that in. I believe it's Corinthians. My mind's a bit foggy right now. Corinthians.
First, yeah.
10:1.
First or second Corinthians.
1 Corinthians 10:1.
What did you?
Let's just go to the fourth. Let's go to the fourth verse. We could just jump there in it, really. You might have all seen that before, where it says, they will all pass through the sea and baptized unto Moses. Let's read verse 4.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 4, and it reads, and they all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahushua.
So there. So the rock is Yahushua. The rock is Christ. Okay. So it says, lead me to that rock. You know, when you're overwhelmed, the rock is Yahushua. And then he's going to then take you to who? He's going to take you to the Father. All right. So now let's go to Psalms 63 and 6.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 63, verse 6. When I remember thee upon my bed and meditate on thee in the night watches.
There. When I remember thee upon my bed and meditate on thee. So David meditates on the Most High. You have to hold the meds and think about the Most High. Okay? Don't let the pressure and distractions of life take you off that. Okay? Because that's how we're gonna win in this world. Is in the spirit. Okay? Because we're a people, we're rich in spirit. When it says thou art rich, we're rich in spirit. That's where we win. It's in the spirit. Okay, Esau can run around with his missiles and his ships that keep getting sunk by Iran, but have got we've got spiritual weapons. Okay, the weapons of warfare. Our weapons of warfare are not what they're not carnal, in it. They're spiritual weapons. So that's what it says there. It says meditate on thee. Right, keep going. Verse 7.
Like it. What verse was it? What chapter was it?
63, verse 7.
Because thou, verse 7, and it reads, because thou hast been my help.
So thou has been, the Most High has been a help to you. The Most High in Christ has been a help to you. Go on.
Therefore, in the shadow of thy wings will I rejoice.
Yeah, but the shadow of thy wings will so rejoice. So in it, like you got a massive bird or whatever in the shadow of the wings. You're under the wing of the Most High, and He's carrying you through, and you're rejoicing in that. Right, keep going.
My soul followeth hard after thee. Thy right hand upholdeth me.
Thy right hand holdeth of me. Who's the right hand? Yahushua. Yahushua is known as the arm of the Lord and the arm of God. Okay, we used to say, "Oh, my man's my right hand, my right hand." They're helping it. Okay, so you're supposed to lean on the Most High when you are overwhelmed with things. Okay, and rejoice and meditate on Him. Yes, when you're in a work scenario, they're going to be on your case, you're going to feel a certain way, and they're all against you. But remember, your reward is coming, and their slavery is coming. So you have to remember that. I'm thinking, you see, when we work you hard, you're doing press ups every day. You know what I'm saying? That's what you'll be thinking. But right about now, I'm in a position of servitude, so I'm gonna have to just do this work and shut up and just get on with it. Okay, got to stay in the spirit.
Because the Most High will give you the emotions of your heart. So if you seek an earthly reward, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
If you see the heavenly reward, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
As we know, the earthly reward don't mean nothing.
Yeah, man. You know, money can't motivate me. Money just pays bills. You know what I'm saying? Money is a defense. Okay, money can have its importance, but it's not swaying me. I'm not making decisions on that. I put all that down. Okay, so just have that thought process when you're in a situation. Think in the spirit. Okay, think in the spirit. Calm.
Worldly pleasures profit not.
Yeah, man. Not profit. It seems that way. It seems like it helps, but it doesn't.
Just has momentary value, monetary value.
Classic example of that is when people go to therapy. When you talk about going shopping, they heal their woes. Them ones that you can buy till the cows come home, and it's not going to solve the root of the problem. So like drinking when you're sober, the problem's still there. The only way out is
lean to the rock.
Lean on the rock, man. Look, face your fears, face your problems. You're overwhelmed. Just don't drink your way out of it. Not gonna work. Don't shop your way out of it. Ain't gonna work. Just lean on the Most High and figure out what He's trying to teach you.
And that comes in with lead us not into the temptation. Because in that situation, obviously now you're going through something. Your instinct is for the quick way out.
Yeah.
Not the hard way out.
Yeah.
You lean on emotion, not wisdom.
Yeah. The quick way out never fixes anything. It's just a band-aid. There's a band-aid. You got to try and change or turn back or forsake those ways. All right. Yes, my brother.
Yeah. Our precept in Psalm chapter 30 and reading from verse 4.
Yeah.
So it says, "Sing unto the Lord, all ye saints of His, and give thanks at the remembrance of His holiness." Right? It says, "For His anger endureth but for a moment." So we're in this situation now because of the Most High's anger. So we have to endure this time period that we're in. Right? And then it says, in His favor is life. So when His favor comes onto us, we're gonna have life. We're gonna get the kingdom.
Yeah.
Right? Then it says that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. So night time doesn't last forever. And it's not going to last forever. Right now, we are in that night time. That the day coming. So when the kingdom's here, that's when the day is here.
Because they do not rest.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's not rest.
Yeah, man.
And just on the back of that, that's a very good precept. Says in Zion there's no night.
Yeah.
That could be just figurative. You get what I'm saying? No darkness, no sadness.
No sadness. Yeah, man. Good precept, man. Good precept. All right. Let's get me Psalms 34:17.
Psalms 34, chapter 17, and it reads, "The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth."
They're the righteous. When you're going through a situation, you lean on the Most High, speak to Him, and He will hear you. He might not hear you in the time you want, but eventually He will hear you. Okay, don't faint, not literally, but spiritually, well, both. But just lean on the Most High, and He will hear you eventually in His time. Okay, go on.
"And delivereth them out of all their troubles."
And He will deliver people. He can and will deliver you out of all your troubles. All right. Yeah, go on.
"The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit."
There's the Most High is nigh unto them that are broken heart, and He will save those that are in the correct spirit. All right, verse 19.
"Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all."
So the Lord will deliver them out of them all. Okay, so whatever you're going through, the Most High can save you from that. Let's get. I'm gonna go Sirach. I'm not gonna go Sirach. I'm gonna go 1 Corinthians 15, and I believe it says. Have a look. So it's 1 Corinthians 15 and let me take a look. Yeah, 58.
15 and 58, yeah? In the book of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 58, and it reads, Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord.
See that there? It says, my beloved brethren, be steadfast. Yeah, that's like, let me look at the word steadfast. So I'm not talking out my backside. If someone knows that, I want to get its exact meaning.
Patient.
Have a look. Yeah, loyal, unwavering, firmly fixed in purpose, belief, or resolution. Yeah, so loyal and unwavering. All right, so be steadfast. All right, and it says unmovable. That's like the rock that we spoke about before. The rock is unmovable. Okay, you see a rock in the park, a big one, not a little one, and then you go away months later, come back, and the rock's still there. It's unmovable. All right, and then keep going.
From the top.
Yeah.
Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord.
So they're always abounding in the work of the Lord. That's how you're going to get through in this thing. You got to be doing the work of the Most High. It starts to build momentum and it gets bigger. You get better. Okay, that's how you get through in this world. You're not going to get through by stopping in your yard and doing nothing. You got to contribute somewhere, whether it be your skills, whether it be, you know what I mean, your teaching, your encouragement, giving donations, alms. It could be anything, but you're always abounding in the work. Go on.
For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
So it says to lay up your treasure in heaven, and so your labor is not going to be vain with the Lord. It's going to be counted. The credit that you're building up for the Most High, moth cannot corrupt it. Okay, you're laying that up. It's seen by the Most High. You might not get a sticker and a medal right now, and what do you call it, a presentation. You might not get a presentation for all the work that you've done right now, but the Most High will reward you. It's guaranteed. He will reward you. All right. So now let's go.
I've got a precept for that one.
Got a precept one.
Yeah. It's Isaiah 54, verse 17.
Go on.
No weapon that formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that rise against thee in judgment shall not thou condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and the righteousness of me, said the Lord.
Come on. All praise to the Most High, man. All praise to the Most High. Read that first bit again.
No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper.
There. You're unmovable. That's the whole point to that. You're unmovable. So all praise to the Most High. Good precept. All right. So let's get Sirach 2 and 1. This will be my. That's my last precept. Unless anyone's got any precepts, this is my last one. All right. I believe. Unless something else comes up in my mind. Yeah. So this should be like Hebrew Israelite 101. Your first thing you should be told, really. Even though I told you the Israelite first, but looking back now, your first, advice should be is this one. Ecclesiasticus 2 and 1.
Yeah.
Go on.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare your soul for temptation. Now it's verse 2. That's what you need to be. All people Israelites should be told. Prepare your soul for temptation. Right? Being overwhelmed. Okay. You could be tempted to lose your temper and beat up your boss at work, but you're not going to do that. All right. Go on.
Verse 2. Set thy heart aright.
Set your heart aright. Okay. Compose yourself. You can overcome it. Between the two, Uno, you can fix it. Okay, go on.
And constantly endure.
Constantly endure. Because it's he who endureth until the end, same shall be saved. So you have to endure until the end. That's what it's saying here. Constantly endure. Okay, that don't mean put up with craziness. It just means when problems occur, we have to have the correct spirit and the correct approach to it. Keep going.
And make not haste in the time of trouble.
And make not haste in the time of trouble. Okay, go on.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
See, we spoke about that earlier. You're being proactive. You're putting in the blocks now, so there's no leak. You know what I mean? You don't wait until there's a flood and start looking for sandbags and whatever else you need. You build it up from now, innit?
Preventative measures.
Preventative measures.
To add on to that as well, if you notice what it says at the end, that thou mayst be increased at thy last end, and that goes back to what he said, that your reward's not immediate. So you've got to labour for that which is at the end.
Yeah.
You don't get your wages at the beginning of the season. You get it at the end of the well, you don't get it at the end of the day even, but you get what you just try, you know what I'm saying?
In Israel, you're supposed to get at the end of the day.
Gone.
That's actually how we used to pay.
Exactly.
That's how, we used to pay. You get your money end of the day in Israel.
More at the store.
Day's work.
You're not going to withhold it.
You know,
Yeah.
That's what day rate. That's what day rate's about.
Yeah.
Day rate is supposed to be.
That's why weekend hands was taking a mick.
Yeah, taking a mick.
You know what I'm saying?
Taking a mick.
You know, the point being anyway, your reward is coming even if you can't see.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You got to put that work in now, and you'll be rewarded at the end, man. You don't get paid first, innit? You don't get paid first, man. Go on, just keep going.
Verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
See, so when you're going through things, you take it cheerfully. Okay, I was seeing we're too happy that it comes, but I mean, like, take it in a positive manner. That's what it's talking about. Taking a positive, you know what I mean? Like, yay, I'm being impressed, yay. You know what I mean? Well, it just means like just take it in a positive manner. Don't be why me? Don't be like that. Just be positive about it. You know something, yeah, man. I have to go through some at some point, don't I? So yeah, keep going.
And be patient when thou art charged with a low change to a lower state.
Be patient when you brought down low. You take them down a peg or two. Be patient. Why? Why does it say that? Keep reading.
For gold is tried in the fire.
The only way for you to know these things is for you to be tested. Gold is tried in the fire. The Most High is going to test you. Okay? Tested Christ, in it. Christ went in the wilderness to be tempted. He got tested, so you're definitely getting tested. Okay? And every time he was asked something by Satan, he responded.
It was written.
It was written. He responded with the law, responded with Torah. So when you're going through things, you respond with the Torah, with law. Okay, so you respond. Keep going.
And acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
The acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Okay, that's how you find out who's who in that cooking pot. Okay, when the doo-doo hits the fan, what does he do? Does he run off, or is he? You know what I mean? You're at camp and then there's a scrap, and then you look around and you're like, "Yo, where's Peter?" You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You like, you know what I mean? You have to like, he's in adversity. What happens? What does he do? You know, you gotta be there, be ready, and be there with the man them and hold your corner like everybody else.
So like, yeah, was that verse what Eva just read relate to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Because their faith was tested.
Yeah, similar. So yeah, similar still. Yeah, man. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Literally.
Like Game of Thrones, like that.
Precepts.
Go
ahead. James 1 and 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life.
Yeah, man.
Which the Lord. Huh? Was you coming with this?
No, I was saying you brought that out yesterday as well.
Yeah. Oh, you brought that
yesterday.
Go ahead there. All right. So he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of Yahweh, for Yahweh cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust. And I digress.
No, man. Yeah, man. All praises. All praises. All praises. All praises. Yeah, man. You gotta be tested out. Yeah. You're gonna go through things. You're gonna be overwhelmed, but you can't let that overwhelming get the better of you. You can overcome. Okay. Like I kept saying about these at work. I got Esau snitching like crazy. Snitching like crazy. Like just snitch on top of snitch. Just everyone's just snitching the place down. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to use this to my advantage. And then on one training course I was on recently, said, oh yeah, you do the inductions. And the inductions you get, so I got an induction for HS2. You got stuck on a refresher thing. I was like, oh yeah, any close calls or anything happens, or any good behavior, you can report it in it. So I was like, oh, so there's certain brothers dotted around on this massive site. We go talk to them, something, I'll report good behavior on you, you report good behavior on me. You know what I mean? So now that's when I spoke to the digger driver, Justin, and then he's telling me he's going for the same thing. They're trying to snitch on him, and he's saying that Esau's got his feet up on the steering wheel with his helmet on his head, just asleep. And then if he sees Justin just standing there like he's waiting, they'll be saying that he's being lazy and doing nothing, trying to get him out of the job. You know what I mean? And then the same thing for me. I'm on a job where it's more sitting around, whereas others have to run around. They're on with a different boss. And the boss that I'm with is still sitting around, but you're there until 5. So Esau does what? So on the blower saying he's sitting around. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to talk to the brothers. I'm like, I'll put in a good report for you. You can do an anonymous report in it.
Oh, that's not what I was going to say, because then pick up the patterns.
You click the anonymous button. So you click the anonymous button and you go, oh yeah, Justin's a really good driver. He does this, he did this, he's really set, and keep doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like every month or every hour and then. And then what we're going to do is we'll build up with the brothers and go, so you do that for me, I'll do that for you. And then we're kind of, you know what I mean? You got to fight it somehow, man. So the months kind of made a way for me to think about it and go, yeah, let's do it that way. Do you know what I mean? And then if they're doing anything wrong, we snitch on them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We full on snitch on them, go straight. Esau does anything. I'm pressing the report button. High risk. He did this. Number plates. Location. Snitch. Do you know what I mean? Do you know where to fight these guys? They're trying to get me. Trying to get me out of the job. I'm like, nah, man, it's not happening. Okay, I'll play the game. The induction said you drive like a madman, so I'm reporting it. You know what I mean? Because that's what they're doing on the blog. The boss saying he's doing this, he's sitting around. So you got to kind of. But yeah, what I'm saying is, don't let it overwhelm you. The most I make a way.
Just give thanks.
Yeah, give thanks. And I was giving thanks that someone relayed to me the message that these guys are snitching on you. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I give thanks. But yeah. Any questions or comments? No, you guys have made some good comments so far. Anyway, good presets as well. Any questions or comments in the chat? Yes, Gideon.
Steve, even down here, we're getting the how can I say, the pink flesh entity is giving us trouble down here. Even the other nations, Elam, Ishmael, they're all the same. They're all the same. Once they're in that position, and even our own people as well.
Yeah.
Verse.
Yeah.
Even our own people, like the one that's down in Parliament now, the Kemi Abandonok.
Yeah.
Who wants to throw his people, throw us under the bus.
Yeah.
So no matter what level they are, we're gonna get them. We're gonna get them.
No, it's true. Even our own people can be just as bad. You get like Jobsworths, and they're just as bad, But anyone who is of the right spirit, just try and find a way to kind of make it, it's just a bit better for you, Just try and make that way. But you got to be careful because, it says no matter where you go. That's what I learned, He's like, I keep speaking to people. Yeah, I'm going for the same thing. I'm going for the same. I realize, yo, all us Israelites, like, we're going through it. Esau's trying to get you out of there. They're trying to get you out of there. And it's just that's the way they're thinking it. Just the way they think. They don't think like you. You're thinking peacefully. You're thinking go along, get along to go. Was it go along to get along? Is that the word? You go along to get along or something like that, right? You're thinking that, oh, how you doing, mate? Yeah, that was work. They're not thinking that. They're thinking, what? Why are you in my job? How come you work here? How did you get that? Why? Why are you same time as me? And I'll get you out of here. I don't want you finishing
Yes.
same time as me. I want you finishing after me. You know? My job, the Edomites are very petty. They're like babies. They're big grown men, well older than me, and they're like babies, absolute babies. They'll say to you, yeah. We're gonna finish at 3:30, and then I'm looking, it's 2:50, and they're gone down there heading towards the gate, getting off. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, why tell me 3:30?
So would you say that they're like confederate together? They're working
1,000%.
together.
1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. They're like, in the morning when I get to work, they're having a mothers meeting. They're having a mothers meeting in the morning. I see them all grouped together. They're having a little coffee in the morning. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Nothing new. That's what I mean. Yeah, nothing new. Nothing new.
I used to go through that.
Yeah.
30, 40 years.
Same thing.
Still same.
Same. Don't stop, man.
Day to day and forever.
It don't stop. It don't stop. It don't stop.
I just used to walk out.
Mm.
My mum said to me, "Can you keep a chat 5 minutes? Are you standing for nothing? Silly Ferrari."
Yeah.
Okay, later.
Yeah.
They're looking for me tomorrow morning. Job now.
It's literally a thing.
On a serious,
Done.
on a serious note, but that's why in a job you have to corral and group with your brothers and sisters.
Yeah, where you can. Man.
Yeah, with your sisters. But obviously, furthermore, test that brother and sister spirit. Because
Yeah.
you don't know which side of the fence they're
on.
Yeah. Just to add to that, I started a new site recently, and this brother, but looks like he's an Israelite, and obviously me and my bedroom has gone to the site now. Yeah, we're eating together, innit? Yeah. Ask the brother now, yo, you can come and sit with us, It's like, nah, and he was sitting with Edom, choosing to sit with Edom. So as you said, test that spirit and see who and where he's with. You felt more comfortable with them than with us. Yeah, man. Yeah. Just get you right, man. Test them and you see where they're at. Test the spirit. There's a lot of coons. There's a pandemic of coons. Coon is a pandemic, man. And
could it be Edomite?
In the spirit. In the spirit, it could have been. You know what I mean? But as I said, you get a lot of sellouts, man. You get a lot of sellouts. As I said, even in the Greek captivity, you had men that fully just switched over. Just changed the whole thing. Just switched over. Started begging the Edomites for a license to do whatever. Yeah, let me do that like you and do this like you and all that foolishness, man. Fully switched over. So you got people who are going to conform. Do you know what I mean? It's like one time I was in West Brom doing a fly mission, and then I saw one brother, and he had like it's either a Jamaican flag or a Jamaican thing on his bag or Jamaican whatever. And then I came to the usual approach. So where you from, country wise? He's like British, mate. British. But you got Jamaican. I'm British, mate. I'm like, yeah, like, oh, like he just walked off. You know what I mean? I was like, wait a minute, hold up a minute. I've seen him another time being very pally with the other nations, playing his music or playing his drums or whatever he's doing. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to be careful of our own as well. Just test that spirit. But as you said, sis, it's nothing new under the sun. They're at it with us, and they're trying to get us at all times. But just don't get overwhelmed by it and understand that the Most High will make a way. And yeah, man. So I gotta be careful, man. You know what I mean? Because we try and think we can be kumbaya and lovely with them, and I ain't done nothing to them. Just hate your guts. You can't kumbaya. You think you can be kumbaya with him? Oh yeah, you know what I mean. Gary's all right, mate. Gary's all right. It's not Gary H. You got Gary H. You got. You don't want to know. He's smiling in your face.
The thing is, though, history tells us it's repeated over and over again.
Yeah, yeah.
Trusted them every single time. Look, I'm not
Yeah.
every single time.
Their track record.
Yeah.
When you talk to people and you're like history basically. History tells you what they're like.
Yeah.
I said, how many times did we trust them? I said, even our people that was in Americas, they was like, oh yeah, we'll show you how to cultivate the land, blah blah. What did they go do when they murdered them?
It's the same thing every time.
Genocide.
It's the same thing every time.
Do you know what I mean?
Because I think there was one job I was on. I was a company I worked for not long before this one. It's not even that long ago. I believe it happened about at least around a year, if that. The situation is not that old. Probably less than a year it happened. And basically, sometimes with the drivers, we do loads, and it's like, say, today, it's going to be 6 loads. Maybe with traffic, it might be 5 loads. Sometimes you kind of negotiate with the other drivers. And obviously, someone asked me, one white boy, I said, "Oh, how you doing, mate? You're like, how many loads?" I said, "Oh, I don't know, a couple of delays. I reckon 6 loads. It's nothing, it could be 5, whatever, and it's no set. It depends on traffic and weather and blah, 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 blah." And then after he'd gone past me, obviously I've gone out doing my thing, someone else has called me. He's gone, that guy you just spoke to, don't talk to him. I said, why? He goes, because when he got into the place, he spoke to the other driver because that black CUNT is doing 6 loads. Do you know what I'm saying? Black, he's doing 6 loads. I was like, what? All right, watch when I see him. So I'm on my way back. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get him. I'll do this, take him right behind the curtain, back, beat him up. I'm going to do, talk to him. Should I play with his mind games? What should I do? Da, 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 da. So I'm filling up, and I saw one brother filling up in a fuel station before I get to the yard. I said, "Oh, this just happened. What should I do?" And it turned out when I got back, he found out that I knew. And he got off early and left the workplace and quit. And he actually quit. He actually quit. And then the next day, the replacement driver was a brother. And then me and him have been cool ever since. and he's coming to the cookout. You'll see him at the cookout. You know what I mean? You'll see him at the cookout. And yeah, it's a mad story, man. Mad story. But I hate your guts, man. So he's smiling in your face, like, yeah, mate. So just be careful on that.
Did you have the cookout early before I go?
Like a mini one? Yeah, I mean, a mini one.
She's actually looking forward to it. She's wishing that for me if I'm not there.
Yeah, Julie's definitely welcome. She's definitely welcome. All right, and so notifications. First fruits next month, 24th. So get your money in for that. It's on a Sunday down South London. Did I say it right? Yeah, did I say it right? South London. Yeah, probably. Yeah, do a bit better on my London accent. South London. And then also we've got this slave tour.
Yes, God. I could stop. Let me stop the recording.
Yeah, stop recording. Don't want to let them know the information on that one.